Hi, today I'm reviewing the Peter Thomas Roth Potency Bright and Plump Moisturizer. And really quick, I just want to say I purchase all these products with my own money. So if you want to help me keep the channel independent, check out all my products at the Amazon link below. So this is a newer product from the Peter Thomas Roth brand, and it goes along with the potency theme of products, which I've reviewed all of the other ones. There's a serum, an eye cream, and also a spot moisturizer. So if you're interested in those products as well, you can definitely check out my reviews on those. But this is a new one, and it's a moisturizer that also contains vitamin C. It's got a pretty stable form of vitamin C in it, so I've picked it up and I've been trying it now, so I thought I'd let you guys know all of my thoughts on it based on my Sarah score scale. And my first criteria is packaging, and that's really the only unfortunate part about this product, whereas the other vitamin C or potency products are all packaged very well, kind of protecting the vitamin C from exposure to light and air. This one has a jar package, which I'm not a huge fan of because it every time you open it, you repeatedly expose the ingredients to light and air, so I'm not a huge fan of that. My second criteria is alcohol, and this does not contain any denatured alcohol or the drying types of alcohols. It does include a few good or fatty types of alcohols, such as stearyl alcohol and cetyl alcohol. So those are the good alcohols that moisturize your skin and not the denatured alcohols. So that is a good thing that they've included those. In terms of fragrance, it doesn't contain any fragrance, and it really doesn't have much of a scent at all. It's got a little bit of a, I don't know if you've used any vitamin C products before. It has kind of a scent to it, a little bit of a, I can't really describe it, but a little bit of a fresh scent almost, and it has that, but it doesn't have any fragrance ingredients, so that is a good thing. This is manufactured in the U.S., so no issues with that. And my fifth criteria is ease of use, and it's very easy to use. They recommend using it morning and evening. If your evening skincare routine is pretty packed, I recommend using this in the morning. Vitamin C is good for your skin and also helps your skin fight off environmental stressors, pollution, sunlight, things like that. And I'm going to use my little spatula to dig in. But when I get things that are packaged in a jar, I always leave their little container on as much as I can. So I always just leave it on to kind of help protect them. But when I'm done with this review, after this, I'm going to be transporting it into my No BS Beauty jars. They're airless jars, so you can check them out on the Amazon link below. So I'll be definitely repackaging that to help protect it. But so I always leave these little things on, but kind of looks like orange sherbet. But a little bit of this goes a very, very, very long way. So you don't need much to cover your face. That's probably even, what I got in the spatula is probably even too much because it spreads very, very easily, nicely. It is pretty moisturizing, I found. So if you have very oily skin, you might prefer to use this in the evening and not in the daytime just because of how emollient it is. It's got a lot of good hydrating ingredients in it. It's got shea butter and things like that. So very easy to use, but I do, if possible, recommend using this in the morning just to kind of help apply it and then apply your sunblock over it. So very easy to use, no issues with that. It's very thick. If you have dry skin, I think you're really going to like this, especially during the daytime or under sunscreen, things like that. So very hydrating. In terms of antioxidants, it's got lots of them. So let's start. It has Tetrahexyldecyl Ascorbate, which is a stable form of vitamin C that is not as sensitive to light and air as a lot of other forms of vitamin C. A lot of other forms of vitamin C can oxidize very quickly. This one is a more stable form, so the jar packaging for that isn't as bad as if it were a different form of vitamin C. So that is the third ingredient. It also contains ferulic acid. It's got a lot of that in there, so that kind of helps boost vitamin C's effectiveness and antioxidant capabilities. Vitamin E, oleic acid, collagen, hyaluronic acid, turmeric, shea butter, ceramide, lactic acid, lecithin. So it's got a lot of good beneficial ingredients in there. It's a pretty thoughtful formula, which is kind of why it surprises me that they chose to package it this way, especially since the Peter Thomas Roth brand uses airless jars for other products. Their Camu other vitamin C product is packaged in an airless jar, so I'm kind of dumbfounded as why they chose the jar for this. I'm kind of wondering if they didn't want it to be confused with their vitamin C serum and have it packaged similarly. So that's about the only downside, is some of those antioxidants can be kind of fragile when repeatedly exposed to light and air. So, but they did a good job on packing it with good antioxidants. My seventh criteria is animal testing, and the Peter Thomas Roth brand is not cruelty-free. Hopefully that changes soon. My eighth criteria is performance, and I liked using this in the evening because I felt like I had enough time to absorb. My daytime morning routine is pretty simple, and I have such a high maintenance routine in the evening where I pack on as many different actives and lotions and toners, essences, as much as I can get on my skin pretty much. But my daytime routine is pretty minimal. I like to use the Protini mixed with the debronzing serum and then sunscreen. Adding this into my routine caused a little bit of pilling with the Protini, just depended on how much I used. On days when I gave it about 15 to 20 minutes to sink in before applying the Protini, it seemed to work well. But using this during the night definitely helped my skin stay hydrated. It looked a little bit more brighter during the morning after I washed my face off. So I think it performs nicely and does a great job hydrating. Again, if you have very oily skin, you definitely probably prefer to use this in the evening because of how emollient it can be. But I thought it performed quite well. However, my question is, if I wouldn't repackage that in an airless jar, once I get to the very bottom of the jar, is that going to be as effective? And probably not. I guess I'll find out in a few months down the road. But once it kind of starts to get to the end of the jar where it's all been exposed repeatedly to air, light, your hands, things like that, it's probably not going to perform as well. But right out of the jar, it performs nicely, really helps moisturize and brighten skin. So yeah, and then unless you have very dry skin, I wouldn't recommend using it in the daytime because of that. So, but otherwise it performs nicely. My ninth criteria is the price, and this is the full size, so that is 1.7 ounces, and it's $68 unless you get it on sale or get it on a deal or something. So it is a little bit pricey. However, the serum, this one, which is 1 ounce, I think it was about $90, so very expensive. So again, vitamin C, different formulas. I mean, you can pay as much as you want for them. The SkinCeuticals vitamin C is like $160, so that almost makes this look cheap, but still pretty expensive. And then my 10th criteria, which is the it factor, had they used an airless jar or a squeeze tube or a pump or a bottle or anything other than this, I definitely would have given it the it factor, because overall I really like the formula. It's packed with good ingredients. But their way of packaging it was just not the best, especially when you're spending that much money. And especially when the brand has kind of admitted they have resources. They've packaged things in airless jars before, yet they chose not to, is kind of beyond me. Except for the fact that I think they probably didn't want it to get confused with their other packaging. That's the only thing I can think of. Or they figure that they used a stable form of vitamin C, so they didn't need to worry about it. But I still worry about with all the other ingredients, and even that, still repeated exposure to light, air, your hands in the jar just does have its effects. So overall, this got a 6 out of 10 on the Sarah score scale, which is good. It would have done a lot better had they packaged it differently, but overall, it's still a solid product. So anyway, I'm interested if you guys have a chance to try the moisturizer out, or if you've tried the serum or the eye cream or the targeted spot brightener, what your thoughts are, or if you have vitamin C currently in your routine, what form of vitamin C do you use, what product, how do you like it? So leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I come out with at least one new video every day, and check out the Amazon link below and nobsbeauty.com. Thank you so much, guys.